All right, so I came out here I was gonna drive the boat to the end of the lake, and I'm still hoping to, but storm is rolling through, so I'm gonna wait that out. The waves are, I don't know, 18 inches, 2 feet probably at the max. I doubt they're 2 feet, but they're pretty good waves. But this storm's rolling in. Hopefully it passes pretty quickly and I can get back out on the boat. But I'm gonna be going to the end of this lake. There's a couple waterfalls. One's right at the entrance of the lake. I'm not going to show that one. There's another one like half a mile back that I'm going to try and get to. So hopefully I can do that today. If not, I will try and get it another time. Stay tuned. All right, boat's tied up. We're at the back of the lake. It turned out to be beautiful right now. So right here is where the creek comes into the lake. And in a previous video, that's the bridge I rode the horses across. I came to the back. You can see the spray back there from the waterfall that's right here by the lake. So we're gonna get going. Gonna head up the trail, and hopefully I've already been up here. I know there's some stuff to film, so we're just gonna go and film it. And hopefully, I guess the hopefully part is that it doesn't rain on us anymore and that it stays nice. So we'll keep on going. All right, so right there is where we're headed. So I can get on the right side of that and be looking straight down in that. And that is a lot more water than when I was here last, which was just a couple weeks ago. And then, oh, actually, I'm wrong. That big one you see there is the side I can't get to. This one over here on this side, that's the one I can get to. So I'll come down that rock slide, or that big rock, and be able to be right on top of it. The water splits that rock in half, so I can't jump that creek and get in the rock between the two spots. But that is, yeah, that's more water than was here a few weeks ago. So we're gonna get up there and come down to it. There's a little gardener snake, I believe, sunning on the trail right after the storm. So that rock ridge right there, that's all I'll be coming down. There's a draw. This draw is not horrible, but the trail goes up and then I can do a little tiny crossing and get on top of it. There's some water coming down those big open face rocks. Here's a kind of a cool spot in the trail. Got these pretty smooth rocks that they just went over. You can see right there, that's from horseshoes sliding on the rock a little bit. Bunch of flowers. All right, right here is where I leave the trail. Trail keeps going up that way. And we jump over here. Oh, there's an old can. I don't see any fire rings right here. So we're gonna get up through here, and then that's where I get on the ridge right up there. All right, we're up here on this little ridge. So we're gonna go over here. Okay, so I can hear, I'm going to show you before we get to the waterfall, the creek does a series of falling. I guess I'll go up here first. It does a series of little falls where it comes down. The water's moving really fast. We're going to go over there and look at that. Here is the view from the top of the ridge here. Now it drops right off there. Those big rocks have fallen in there in the lake. Looks like there's another storm coming, so I don't know how long I have here. maybe I ought to get a move on, but I think we can deal with it. Going back on the boat, I'll be going with the waves if it gets windy, so it's a lot nicer ride going with the waves. Right over here there is a big metal square. It looks like it has been riveted on one end right here. So it looks like those are rivets or screws on one end, and then it's got this big hole through it, and that hole, you can see it's been laying here, and that moss is alive right there. It looks like it was punched through, like they cut it and then bent it up or shoved something, like hammered something around through there. I don't know what it is or why it's up here. Right here, I believe this is an old fire ring right here. Nice little flat spot. And there's another flat spot right here. There's a lot of these that kind of just falls off of here. Little flat spots, and then it dives off. We're gonna go down here where we can see the creek right here. All right, here's one of these stair steps, little falls as we go. In low water, this is probably a quarter of this amount of water coming down. I see spray coming up down there, so there's a bigger fall. Water goes clear up. That storm's rolling in fast, so I'm probably gonna get wet. But we're not gonna stop. You can see this water in the past has been much higher. There's some cut logs over there that were probably floated there. And then all of this debris here has been floated up here at some point. So the water can definitely get higher than this. right, here looks like this is going to be a decent little fall. Yeah, that is. So we were way up there. You can see how it just kind of stair steps down. Looks like there's another fall. There's another one below us. There's a log stuck in that one. That's really coming off of there. There's where we just were. And this just keeps falling and falling. There's a pretty good log right there. I think the falls is around that corner. So we're gonna go back and get back up on those bigger rocks, because it's pretty much like this down here low. So we're gonna get up a little higher again and then come down on the big rocks. Well, right here I found another fire ring. I don't know how long it's been since some of these fire rings were made, but it's been a minute. And it looks like a bear. I think that's older. But a bear has gone through here lifting rocks as he went. There's another one. Been moved. Right here's a bunch. Broke that log open a little bit. Haven't seen any fresh bear sign. I'm not sure if that was a fire ring one time. The way they look, it kind of seems like they might have been. Oh, here's a big This one could have been rolled pretty recently. That's a pretty good sized rock. And there's not a lot of debris underneath. Wind starting to move the trees. Starting to rain. It's coming in fast. Oh, I didn't see this the last time I was here. I missed this whole section. I thought this was thick trees all the way down it. Ping pongs all the way down through this little draw. So last time I was here, I came across this cut log and I was thinking, why did they cut that log? And then I look over here and I see a fire ring and a little makeshift shelter thing with 4 sides. So we're gonna go take a look at it. There's an old, they started cutting that one. And here's the fire ring, which is a really nice fire ring, built to block wind. I'll bet it was really nice to use this fire ring. And then here's the shelter. I don't know what it had for a roof, but they had this wall here, and all these are cut. So this would have been the door. Some of these are cut, some of them are just pieces they found. It's fallen over, obviously. They stacked them between this tree and this tree. They're pretty rotten. So it has been here for quite some time. And then this was the bed. They left some old clothes. I don't know if this piece would have been a part of the roof and maybe this piece also. I don't know how long they spend here, if they just came in here once in a while and did some wilderness camping. It's a pretty neat little spot. All right, so I was just right through here. I came over to this next open rock. I'm just kind of going from open rock to get over here. And there's another fire ring right here. I really don't know why there's so many fire rings. I don't know how old they are. That moss, I have no idea how fast it grows, but it's been there long enough the moss has grown inside of it. And I don't know what brought people up here to have so many different spots to have fires. All right, we're coming back down. We're getting, I think the waterfall is right to my left here, so we'll go down here and follow the water. That rock was moved at some point. Oh, and another fire ring area here. These look really old to me. I'll have to research how long it takes this stuff to grow, and maybe I can get a answer. That's stacked up there like they were trying to do a windbreak, which makes sense because it's on the uphill side. You can see how high the water's been in the past. Shove these logs right up here. Oh, good news, that storm didn't amount to anything. Sure looked bad, but it's just no big deal over there. All right. Oh, here's an old can. I don't know if I want to go through that. Oh, it's not very far. I can see the open space on the other end. Oh, okay. So right here, so that way is where when I first showed the waterfall, that was the left side. So most of the water goes that way. And this right here is the right side. So I have a lot less water going that way. I wish I could. I know I could get over there. I'd have to come from a different direction for that side. Maybe I'll do that someday. But we can go right over here and get pretty close to that one. another flat spot. Man, look at that. That storm just went away. Wouldn't be surprised if there's another fire ring right in here. I don't see one. I did see this the last time. So this is, somebody did have a fire here. This is melted and broken glass right here. So somebody has had a fire here. Because it's in the middle of this rock, they didn't need to put any rocks around it, I guess. All right, let's look at this. Let's look at this waterfall. Man, look how far it goes, how far that rock goes up there and the water goes underneath it. That's pretty cool. That's kind of interesting. Looks like, I don't know what that is. Looks like those rocks, at least that one for sure, looked like it was just right there. That one could have been right there. They're just pulled back. It's not enough room for someone to sleep in. This looks like it could be an old fire ring. Those rocks being stacked. Another spot. I really don't know what would have brought so many different people up here to have different fire rings. I don't know about that one. Well, I got down here, going back a different way. I got on all these really big boulders. I was up there on top. There's a lot of big boulders here. Here's a quartz, I believe, mixed in here. All these boulders, they're up on top of here, they're up on there. Wonder where they, oh, look what I just found. Pretty decent fire ring, and right there they've got it so air can get in underneath it and feed the fire. There's some wood left. I'm really surprised at the amount of fire rings in this area. It's not a main spot for people to camp. That right there looks like somebody stacked some stuff up. Well, I gotta go down there. That might be another fire ring. Oh, that might have been a chair. Right here's an old fire. And that being stacked looks like it might have been a chair somebody was sitting on. And right here is another, I don't know if somebody put that stick there. Yeah, I've been out here twice in the last 3 weeks, and I don't see any sign of anybody else being out here that's fresh. That's fire. They had a bunch of sticks gathered up. Here's a big old rock. So that looks, I mean, it looks to me like that would sit right down in that spot there. How in the world did somebody get that? Or how did it lift up and sit like that? Or how would somebody have done it? Like, what would cause that to lift up and shift without somebody doing it, jacking it up? I don't know. But you could, I mean, it had to have sat right down in there. What else is around here? Seems like a never-ending fire ring area. Now that one's lifted up and sitting on the edge of that one. But that's barely sitting on the edge. It wasn't twisted. Who knows? There's two does right there. Probably a doe and a fawn, actually. All right, well, we made it back to the boat. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.